Hey guys, iKailaKai here and welcome to OP10. OP10 is on the horizon, coming out in less than a week as of the time of recording this, and as such I'm going to be going over my day 1 deck list as well as a gameplay against some sort of meta decks that I predict might be in the meta, or other sorts of interesting matchups that I think of, and showcasing some of the interesting things that these leaders are capable of. Smoker's a very interesting leader, as I illustrated in my OP10 overview, and I think that there's lots of flexibility to the deck. I think I found something after that video came out that's very interesting for this deck, and I'll be talking about it as I go through. Actually, let's just talk about it now. So these 3 cards in the Punk Hazard package all have, of course, the type Punk Hazard, but also Don Quixote Pirates, which means, of course, that they are searchable off of Baby 5. And as such, I've put together a sort of interesting deck that utilizes both searchers and tries to do something that I think could be very interesting. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but if you can't beat Doflamingo, you cannot fight in the meta, so let's try against Doflamingo. I'll just be going first as Smoker because I assume that the move is stronger going first just because of the Smoker. The Smoker, of course, 5 cost 7,000 banish, and then with my leader effect I get lots of Dong back. And because I have not only Smoker but Tashigi, I'll keep this hand. As second, we don't really have the cards that we want. We do have a lot of 1 costs, which are nice. I'm not sure if this is correct, but I will mulligan this just because I kind of know how Smoker works. And I don't think that Juz is going to be that helpful if Tashigi's on the board. Hey, onegaishimasu. 1 Don and pass. Okay, unfortunately we don't have a 1 cost, so pass. Go 5,000 leader. Let's take this. Okay, and then because I don't think that Doflamingo as a deck really has ways to KO 3 costs, I think I'm safe to just throw Tashigi down, even if it gets returned. Entered. We don't really have great targets for Jinbei, but we do have 2 Hancocks, and because we can still play 1 Hancock next turn, we should probably just play these. First attack though. 5,000 leader. I'll take this first one. Okay. 4 Don. Jinbei. Jinbei on play effect. Hankoku, and then Hankoku on play effect. Check 3. Put it like this so we can draw Teach next turn, so we can play something else off of the leader effect for Hankoku, and then enter. Okay, first let's play Smolka. Now, because we have a 7,000 power or higher, I'll use my leader effect, and then get 2 Dong active. Then I'll use Smoker's effect next to make 1 Dong active. Let's go 6,000 leader. Let's take, enter. Okay, for sure we play Hancock and leader effect here. The one question is, do we hit with this Hankoku? The one issue with hitting with this Hankoku is that we're open to a banish. I don't think that we're actually that afraid of that, because if we just keep pressuring life, then Doflamingo ends up winning out. So I think I just hit with both. 5k leader, 1k, 6k leader, Kamakura Jisoshi. I will give my leader plus 3,000 in this battle, and then give the leader minus 2,000 for the turn. Hankoku. And check 3. Don't really want to play Law. I guess we have to play the Hankoku. It's going to be a lot of Hankoku. Put 1 Rested Dong to my leader, and then 7,000 leader effect. Sorry, not 7,000, because we're minus 2,000. So it's 5,000 leader. Then leader effect, put down the Hankoku, and then I'll check the top 3. Hey, put Jinbei on top, and then attach 1 Rested Dong. So now we are at 6,000. Well, that really sucks for me, because I was hoping to defend that with after the event, but I don't have a 2k, so I'll take this. There's my 2k, and then enter. Let's first start with searching. Well, Baby 5, and then activate main. Check 5 cards. Let's add another Kamakura Jisoshi to my hand. In which case our turn probably changes a little bit. First, let's leader effect to just make 2 Dong active. Doflamingo. Then I'll use Smoker's effect to make 1 more Dong active. 6,000 to Jinbei. Because we only have 1 2k in our hand, it's probably better to let that go. 7,000 Hankoku. 2k. Enter. Man, because of this Tashigi, I can't actually use Jozu. I think really the best thing for me to do here is to probably just push hard for life. Probably 1 Dong for Perona, 7, 7, 7, 8, and Perona. I think that's okay. Weevil's probably better, though. Okay. 7,000 leader. There's a chance that the attacks get bigger this turn. I'm just going to use the event now to be safe, I guess. Kamakura Jisoshi. Plus 3,000 is my leader, and then minus 2,000 power the Hancock. In which case, we probably don't attack with that Hancock anymore, and we go 8,000 leader. Both sides made a misplay here, so let's talk about it. Now, the Smoker side should not have defended the first attack with the event, because that dissuades Doflamingo from wanting to go for life, because therefore it's very difficult for him to actually pressure resources out of the Smoker. As such, what the Smoker should have done is wait for the second attack, because presumably it's not going to be more than 7,000 or 8,000, to then use the event, so that he's already committed to hitting your life. Then for the Doflamingo side, after the Smoker has already made this mistake where he used this event first, he should have hit the board for I think 5,000 into Baby 5 and then the rest of the Dong into Smoker. And that way, because the Smoker's at 4 hand in this situation, you can take back some of the board and sort of be careful of something like 8 cost Kid. Obviously, a blue Doflamingo player in the station won't really know that there's going to be 8 cost Kid in the opponent's hand, as of course they don't run any sort of searcher that indicates that they would have it in their hand. So perhaps it's something that's very easy to mess up, but in this situation with absolute knowledge, I do think this was the correct play. 8,000 leader. Take 8,000 leader effect, and then let's play Weevil, draw 1 card. Okay, I think I always play 8 cost Kid on the next turn, and even if he has Perfume, he can't break through 8 cost Kid, so I think I just take this. And turn. 1 don't. Baby 5, activate main. Do we survive next turn? I think we do. So let's pick up the Doflamingo to try to play through that plan. 8 cost Kid. Then I'll use my leader effect to make 2 Dong active, and Smoker effect to make 1 Dong active. And I'll put 1 Dong on Kid for now, just so I don't forget. I think if my game plan is to try to finish through 10 cost Doflamingo, then maybe I start hitting leader now. Could be a bit risky, but I think if I end up losing, maybe it's because of this. Please let me know if there's a correct play to do this. But I feel like trying to clear the board when you have this much hand, and only having 2 10-cost Doflamingos when he could just easily spread all of his Dong on his characters and keep hitting the Kid, I think eventually I will lose. So I think it's better for me to try to put them on a timer. So I'll go 6,000 leader. Go 2k, 5k leader. Don't want to risk this Hankoku because Smoker has Banish, so let's 1k, 6k leader, take 1, block, and 2k. Then I will activate a cost Kid's effect, push out Baby 5, and play Roshinante. Then at the end of my turn, because I have more than 2 rested characters, we'll make Don Quixote Doflamingo active. Enter. I think that one mistake that the Smoker probably made, I probably shouldn't have rested the Tashigi, because if, for example, now if I play Jose and get rid of any of the blockers, they can actually get removed because Tashigi is already rested. I should probably try to capitalize on that. 10,000 Kid. I think I blocked this one. Play Jose, and then on Jose's effect, bounce Hankoku back to my hand to bounce Doflamingo back to hand. Okay, and end turn. I think that as a Doflamingo, this is probably correct, just because there's a good chance that 10-cost Doflamingo is going to come down on this turn, and then you don't want all of your characters to be rested for that. However, 8-cost Kid still is on the board, and if you've been playing since OP01, there's a saying, it's that if 8-cost Kid survives on the board for 2 turns, you lose. So let's see how true that actually is. Unfortunate thing is, for now, there isn't too much to do. Maybe I find like a 2-cost Hoshinante off of this, so let's first start with Baby 5 search. We did not. Let's just pick up the 2k, then let's just leader effect, get our Dong back. 5k leader. I think that it's okay to take the free block here just because I have another Hankoku to defend for the banish, and then if they decide to take out the Hankoku here, that doesn't hurt me as much because I have to get over 8-cost Kid anyways. I don't think I'm in a position where I really want to slow the game down as Smoker, just because I'm in an advantageous spot at the moment, I feel. So I think I just keep pushing life and stay with my own plan. 7,000 leader. Let's take. Okay, 9,000 leader. Block with Hankoku. 5 Dong, Doflamingo, and then 4 Dong, push out Baby 5, and then play Sanji. Now this Sanji is a 2,000 counter with blocker, and on the opponent's turn has 2,000 power. And because it has a type Punk Hazard, actually it has an extra plus 1,000 from my leader, so on the opponent's turn it's a 4-cost 7,000 blocker. Not that it matters in this situation because I have Kid up, but still pretty strong. Entered. We are struggling for 2Ks right now. Let's Hankoku, let's just put the 2K on top. Hi, 10,000 Kid. Block, 10,000 Kid. 2k, 1k. Enter. Actually, now that we drew this killer, we could take it a bit more slowly because we can do a lot of cool things. So let's just hit with what we have so far and see what happens. 5,000 leader, 1k. 6,000 leader. This gives away a lot of information, but 1k, 1k. 7,000 leader, block. 10 Dong. Doflamingo, block the 2 rested characters. And then I will leader effect to get 2 Dong active. Smoker effect to get 1 Dong active. Put 1 Dong on Kid. And we don't need to hit, actually. Let's just use the activate main. This could end up being punished by the 4-cost law. I don't really want to get rid of my attackers just because I might need them depending on how many blockers they play. So I'll play killer, then I'll put 1 Dong on killer, and unfortunately I ended up with 1 Dong extra because I miscounted. Entered. Oh yeah, and sorry, because I have 2 or more rested characters, including Doflamingo, I can make Doflamingo active. Wandong, Sengoku. I was hoping for the 2 cost teach, but I'll pick up 2k. Perfume Ephemeru, give my leader plus 2,000. Smoker can't use his blockers. 14,000 Kid, and then blind leader ability. 14,000. That goes through. Enter. I want to keep the threat of the banish, so I think I'm going to start with this attack. 7k leader, 2k, 1k. Okay, depending on how they react to this 7k, I'll know for sure if I've won or not. So 7k leader. Can't take it. If I block, the attacks get worse. I have to counter. 5k leader. Block. 5k leader. Take. Leader. GG. Before we get into the analysis, I know it's a bit cringe, but if you can consider liking and subscribing this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Liking especially actually helps a lot, which I didn't really know until I became a content creator, but if you guys would be so kind to just hit it, takes like less than a second, and let's get into the content. This is the smoker list that I use in this video. Now, I think that it's very different from what people are putting together. I think that people are putting together a very aggro-centric smoker, but I believe that if you're going to play a very aggro-centric smoker, then there are better leaders to do this. One being, of course, Doflamingo. As such, what I've done is maybe a bit different from what other people are doing, but I think that it actually works quite well, especially with the fact that a lot of the Punk Hazard cards are Don Quixote Pirates, a lot of interesting ways that the searchers can actually overlap. Nonetheless, I think that the star in this deck is definitely the 5-cost Smoker and the Tashigi. I think that because of these 2 cards, not only can you fight against things like Doflamingo because it makes it very tricky to take your board back, but also you can fight against Teach, as of course he can't use cards like Liberation because of the way that it works when you try to KO 2 things at once with KO protection, and also Black Hole, for example. So I think that this deck could do quite well into Teach as well as Doflamingo. The one thing that I do want to point out though is that I think that the Doflamingo matchup was a bit scary, and that's because I haven't really played a 4-life leader in a while. So I think that if I'm going to iterate on this deck, maybe I'll try to put in more defense, probably on the 5-cost line, for example 5-cost Carrot, but these are sort of things that I would have to think about as I go through. Nonetheless though, the deck was pretty solid and I enjoyed playing it. I think that there is a lot of potential to this deck, and I hope that you guys are able to see that. I especially like this event, although I didn't really notice it when I was looking through the card list, because it's kind of in a way like Hell's Judgment, where you can get rid of 2 attacks for 1, except of course that it doesn't -2 dong. I would like to keep iterating on this idea. If maybe the aggro version seems better, maybe I'll make a video on that as well, and if you guys have some interesting ideas, please let me know in the comments. If you guys did enjoy this, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.